This is a cricket podcast.
Sorry, I was just waiting for you to mention Adi Ashok there, who's my pick, who was in the wickets, but that's
Oh,
all right.
that's right. Yeah,
don't ever give me any credit.
Two mates obsessed with the game,
So we've basically slaughtered our own players and now we're going overseas.
I actually do have a Joe route.
Oh, Christ.
covering all the on-field action.
I'm going to have to be babysat this Super Smash.
Yeah, we need to find somebody who will actually babysit you, because I spend too much time at the bar.
This is the Back of a Length podcast.
Hello and welcome to our final episode for 2022 of the Back of a Length podcast. I'm Renee, that's Marc.
Hi!
Hello, how was your Christmas?
Do you know, it was pretty quiet.
Oh, me too.
Didn't get sunburnt though, which is the first Christmas that's happened in a while, so pretty happy about that. But yeah.
Well, the good news is there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to get sunburnt because there's a lot of cricket coming up in 2023.
There is. The highlight of which, probably for both of us, will be the test match at the Mount in February. As we mentioned previously, podcast bragging rights are on the line.
Always.
So, and yeah, we need to actually, do you know what? We haven't figured out a forfeit yet. Have we figured out a forfeit? I don't think we have. So, maybe that's something that you can do on, or you can participate in on the social media channels. Let us know what Renee should do when New Zealand lose the test match.
And let us know what Marc should do when Bazball fails and England lose the test match.
Bazball doesn't fail.
It might do.
Bazball does not fail. Speaking of test match, the Black Caps game in Pakistan is going into day 3 at the moment. So we'll bring you all of the news from that test match when next week's episode.
Yes.
But yeah, speaking of the Mount, hot laps springs to mind.
Yeah, so I was thinking about the Mount because I started the year at the Mount.
You
The
did.
test match on New Year's Day there. It was hot. It was crazy,
Hot.
but it was hot. It was hot. Actually, that's all I really remember. It was so hot down there. But if you want to cast your mind back to our podcast episode, all the way back then, and we talked about how it went down at the Mount and what a hot lap. That's a very hard word to say.
It's not. Hot lap.
Hot lap.
So we talked about what a hot lap is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. See, it just flows off the tongue. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Excited to get back to the Mount. So we thought we would take a look back at some highlights from our year. This year. So here is us starting the year with some comments about the test match at the Mount.
I was just so happy to be back at the cricket. Now I went down with my friend Mike and we caught up with a couple of his mates and ended up forming just one big group. If you watched the game or if you were at the game and you thought, wow, those are some loud people chanting, well, that was your girl. I was in on that crowd.
There was one young lad who did do a hot lap of the Bay Oval with a cricket ball in hand, and he ran around the whole pitch. I think this was day 4, and he then bowled to his dad, who got caught at cover and that section of the crowd, which I believe would be under Lighthouse 1 or Light
Lighthouse
Tower 1, which I think is where you guys were.
where we were.
Yeah, that went off. So shout out to that little guy for getting his dad out after doing a lap of the Bay Oval.
Tell you what, I'm not going to run a hot lap.
I've committed to doing 20 kilometres. So my New Year's resolution, which I've got a few days to change, is to run 20 kilometres a week every week. And I'm not sure how I'm going to fit that in at the Mount, given that we're there for 6 days. So I might have to do a hot lap every day.
That's a smart idea.
It is, but the best time to do the hot lap will be around about 9 o'clock at night. And I've been drinking for about 7 hours, but that's going to be the coolest time.
That's
so
genius.
yeah, you'll find out when you tune into the episode immediately following the trip at the Mount. Immediately before the Mount, though, straight into the new year, we've got the SuperSmash.
Oh, I love the Super Smash. It has been underway for a couple of days now. Some wins for Wellington and a win for Auckland, thank goodness.
Somehow. Yep. Unfortunately, the Hearts got beat in the game that preceded the Aces win. Susie Bates with another 100 on the day that we're recording this episode. Just an absolute machine.
Absolutely.
Your shout of Maddie Green has been in the runs as well,
Yes.
to be fair. That was a really good shout.
Yeah. Love her.
Oh, sorry, I was just waiting for you to mention Adi Ashok there, who's my pick, who was in the wickets, but that's
Oh,
all right.
that's right, yeah,
don't
no,
ever give me any
that.
credit. I'm used to it now. Anyway, cracking on.
I'm looking forward to going back to some Super Smash games.
Yes, same.
hopefully not to repeat the antics of a game earlier in 2022.
No, I can't quite remember the name of the episode, but it featured quite a lot of apologies.
It did.
To quite a number of players, namely Mr. Van Beek.
Yep.
Michael Rippon, I don't really feel as though you have to apologise to, but I think you did anyway.
I did not.
But Logan Van Beek in particular was one that you were just... Predatory is the wrong word. But he was a little bit startled.
He was. Let's have a listen to not one of my finer moments.
No.
Mark, I need to issue an apology to Logan Van Beek, Adam Milne, and Lockie Ferguson for my very creepy actions towards them over the past week. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That sounds genuinely heartfelt, to be fair. Tell us more. Why do you need to issue an apology?
We'll start with Logan Van Beek. Now, we were at the Outer Oval at Eden Park, and if you know the Outer Oval, you basically sit a few metres away from the sideline. So Logan Van Beek had been fielding slightly to the right of where we were sitting. I was talking to our new cricket friend Steph, and then I looked ahead and had moved to the left and was directly in front of me. And my brain just malfunctioned, and my mouth said, "Oh, hello, Logan."
Oh, Christ.
And he turned around, looked straight at me, gave me a weird half smile, and realised that he didn't actually know me at all. Turned back around. Steph is like lying on the ground laughing, and I'm so like, oh my god, embarrassed that I just did this. I'm sorry, Logan.
Okay, apology 1. Let's move on to apology number 2. Who are we going with, Lockie Ferguson or Adam Milne?
No, but we'll go to Adam Milne. Now, in my defence, there was a guy next to me who was a drunken English idiot called Marc, who
Really?
also hosts this podcast.
When was this?
Who yelled out, "Adam, she thinks you're really hot."
That was the worst impression I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know how to be English, but that is what you yelled out, and then I did not disagree, and then it sort of there was a bit more yelling. So Adam Milne, I'm sorry. Thank you for taking a photo with me after the game.
And Lockie
Ferguson obviously is an incredibly popular cricket player, so a lot of kids were trying to get his signature after the game, and
Renee was punching the ball out the way.
I was not doing that at all. So we walked up to try and get a photo with Lockie Ferguson because we love Lockie Ferguson. And
some of us more than others by the sounds of it.
Shut up. They were standing quite close to sort of the entryway back up to the changing rooms, I believe. So Lockie goes, "Oh, if..." Sorry, Lockie goes,
Christ.
"Follow me, kids," and my brain again malfunctioned and went, "That's right, we're all following Lockie." And he turns around, looks at me and he goes, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, shit. What have I done?" So Lockie, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going to have to be babysat this Super Smash.
Yeah, we need to find somebody who will actually babysit you because I spend too much time in the bar. Which I'm not even going to apologise for.
True, yeah.
Only because you never go.
After the Super Smash and after the test, we do go to the Women's World Cup in 2023 that will be played in South Africa, a T20 World Cup.
Yep, absolutely. You remember earlier on in the season we had the full-blown 50-over tournament in New Zealand, and we got Laura Jackson on, who plays for the Manchester Originals in the 100 and plays for Lancashire as well. And it was just really nice to sort of get a bit of an insight into her. She's, just starting her professional career. So finding out sort of where she's come from, how she's got to where she is, and what her ambitions are for the future. Have a little listen.
Yeah, I'd see myself more as a bowling batter. I really want to open the bowling. That's what I want to do. I want that new ball. And I've put on a few yards now. So
You're
yeah,
one quick in the nets.
The coach just turned around to me one day and said, why aren't you running in, Laura? I said, you know what? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I now run in. I've really put some speed on, which I'm glad. I've been working really hard in the gym, want to get as quick as possible. And yeah, like with the new ball, it swings really late now, whereas previously when I was bowling slower, it swung straight from the hand. So now it's a late swing and I feel a lot more dangerous, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot more wickets. So I want that new ball. I want to open the ball in. But I've also been working really hard on my batting also. So I do want to be that all-rounder. I want to be up there in the order. So yeah, I've worked really hard, and hopefully this season will be a good one.
Speaking of the 100, you made your debut last year for the Manchester Originals.
Thank you. I was so nervous. I'm happy I managed to get through it. I kept saying to Crassy the whole time, I just can't feel my legs right now. They were so jelly, and my hands were profusely sweating. So how I managed to actually get the ball down there is beyond me, but I managed it, and it's just the best experience ever, being around everyone. It was so professional. It was the first time I'd been around something like that. And it just gave you a taste of what the future could be as well. So it just leaves you wanting more.
So yeah, hopefully we'll get Laura back on at the end of the Women's T20 World Cup, just so to give us a bit of a wrap. I actually need to ask her if she will come back on.
Please come back.
Yeah,
it's very insightful.
It was
really
great.
Enjoyed hearing
it was great.
From her.
Speaking of insightful,
is it?
No, it's not. Not one of you've had quite a few non-fine moments this year, but you did write a song.
I did.
You did write a song
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it got a lot of feedback. I will leave it up to you listeners to determine whether it was positive or negative. But you wrote a song about Tom Latham.
I did, and here is a little listen to that again. I have written a song. It's called Here Comes Latham, to the tune of Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles.
I found a ukulele in the back of my wardrobe about 2 hours ago.
Here comes Latham, do 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 do. Here comes Latham, we say he's alright. Do 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 do. Century maker at the crease, we need you to stay. Century maker, can you get a better score than Conway? Do 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 do. Here comes Latham. Do 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 do.
Sorry, I went in a bit early there.
That's my Tom Latham song. Sorry to the Beatles. It was worse than I remembered.
Yeah, for regular listeners, I'm so sorry we've put you through that again. Thankfully, it was just a snippet, not the full song.
That is correct. As I said, I do have more in the works, and I actually had an idea of another one, not a Beatles song, but I'm watching that Black Hits Pakistan test with Baba Azam, and there's a song by the Beach Boys that goes ba 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 Baran. It's called Babaran, and I think it should go ba 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 Azam.
Okay, you did text me that actually, and now I know the song because I know it like ba 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 Baby Bell.
Oh.
Have you never heard that?
No.
I was an advert back in the UK years ago when Baby Bell was actually cool. Oh. Okay, well, yeah, so we've basically slaughtered our own players and now we're going overseas.
Yep.
Can't wait for you to think of some for the England players in February for us to not listen to because the Barmy Army will just drown us out.
I actually do have a Joe Root.
Oh, Christ. No. So. Anyway, moving on. First 11 of the week. Go.
First 11 of the week. Of the week. I have noticed a little trend perking up in the cricketing world lately. Yes. Have you noticed a lot more players wearing spectacles?
I hadn't noticed it per se, but now I think about it, there is quite a few compared to what there used to be.
There is. So I've put together the first 11 of glasses. Starting in at 1, we have Verinder Sehwag, and at 2, Iman ul Haq, and at 3, Fahima Kutan, and at 4, Abra Ahmed, who's probably still going to destroy New Zealand.
Second innings.
Yeah, second innings.
Yep.
5, David Steele. 6, Clive Lloyd. 7, Rumana Ahmed. 8, Mitchell Satner. Side note, Mitchell Satner. Why, if you ever listen to this, could you please ask us why you bat with your glasses but you don't bowl or field with your glasses?
Can you also let us know, because we've got the SuperSmash game on in the background at the moment, when you just decided to become some sort of big hitter.
Yeah, 200 strike rate, off you go.
Yeah.
Because he's got his glasses on.
Yeah, that must be it.
There we
James
go.
to see it better.
All right, 9, Daniel Vittori. 10, Tim Pringle from the Netherlands and also playing Northern Districts in the Super Smash, a cult hero. Everyone talks about him. And in at 11, Jack Leach.
That's a good old 11, to be
That's good.
honest.
It's actually
It's actually not too bad. There's a few
well-rounded.
spinners in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're playing in Pakistan or India with that 11. That's our sort of wrap of 2022. A few highlights. Us not talking too much
One low light.
today, which is great. Yeah, one massive low light. But we say low light, but we're also excited to do more next year, more songs.
Oh, I was thinking about the apologies.
Oh,
It's a low
well,
light.
yeah, sorry, yeah, that is very true. And as we're thinking about making more songs, you'll probably have to make more apologies next year as well.
It goes hand in hand.
Happy New Year, everybody. We
Year.
hope that 2023 is better than 2022 for everybody. And if you had an amazing 2022, then that is only going to be even better in 2023. Drink as much as you can without getting alcohol poisoning, and just see the new year in the best way possible.
Yes, and let us know what you're doing across the summer if you make it down to the Super Smash games or the Big Bash games going on in Australia. We are at Back of a Length on Twitter. We are on Instagram. I've already got into the drinks. And we're also floating around on Facebook. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.